My name is Ashley Evans, and I'll be presenting my critical assignment disease state presentation on Alzheimer's. I originally chose this disease because my grandma has this disease, and it hits close to home. And it's just a little bit crazy how the disease deteriorates the brain, and that person who you think that person is no longer that individual. They're a completely different person, and that is why I chose this disease to present. The cause of Alzheimer's is not known in its entirety, but researchers have found some links to Alzheimer's disease, such as exposure to certain chemicals and certain medications when they were younger. Many scientists believe that Alzheimer's disease results from an increase in the production or accumulation of a specific protein called beta amyloid protein. This protein is a fragment snipped from an amyloid precursor protein. And in a healthy brain, these protein fragments are broken down and eliminated. In Alzheimer's disease, the fragments that are accumulated to form hard insoluble plaques. So basically, they form plaques instead of being broken down and eliminated as they should. The likelihood of having Alzheimer's disease increases substantially after the age of 70 and may affect 38% of people over the age of 85. There has been found at least 4 defective genes located on different chromosomes that have been associated with Alzheimer's disease. These gene mutations on chromosomes 1, 14, and 21 are inherited as autosomal dominant traits, resulting in early onset Alzheimer's disease. Pathophysiology is a disordered physiological process associated with disease or the injury. Alzheimer's disease destroys the neurons in the brain. Major parts of the brain that are destroyed are the hippocampus, entorhinal cortex, and the cerebral cortex. These damages essentially shrink the brain. Located in the medial temporal lobe of the brain, the hippocampus is important for forming new memories, recent conversations, or like what we ate for lunch. The medial temporal lobe includes a system of related structures that are essential for declarative memory, such as conscious memory for facts and events. Plaques and tangles also aid in damaging and killing nerve cells. Plaques are deposits of a protein fragment called beta amyloid that I mentioned earlier. These build up in the spaces between nerve cells. Tangles are twisted fibers of another protein called tau that build up inside the cells. Scientists do not know exactly what role plaques and tangles play in Alzheimer's disease, but most experts believe they somehow play a critical role in blocking communication among nerve cells and disrupting processes that cells need to survive. Screening for Alzheimer's disease consists of tests, many tests. Brain scans, lab work, physical and neurological exams. These physical tests consist of examining reflexes, muscle tone, strength, sense, sight, hearing, and coordination, balance, and the doctors sometimes even have them see how they can get up and walk from a chair and walk across the room. Another screening test also includes fluid tests, genetic tests, and quick dementia rating system, which rates your set of dementia. One major sign of Alzheimer's disease is progressive memory loss. Progressive memory loss is also a symptom for dementia. This symptom is where the memories an individual has deter very quickly. Some other signs of Alzheimer's are mood changes, disorientation, personality changes, poor judgment, they're easily agitated, misplacing items, losing their ability to retrace the steps. On the right hand of the screen, we have a healthy brain where all the lobes are intact. And then mild Alzheimer's disease, as you see, the lobes are spread apart. And then severe Alzheimer's disease, lobes are spread even farther apart. So the farther apart the lobes spread, the more the brain becomes entangled and the confusion and the memory loss starts to happen. Symptoms of Alzheimer's disease include memory problems, not being able to remember events due to the effect of an illness or injury, disorientation, which is a state of mental confusion, meaning they are constantly confused. Whether they go to the store, they don't know, like, why am I here at the store, or whether they're visiting someone that knows them, why am I here visiting someone? They recognize some places, but not all places, so they're in a constant state of mental confusion. They are also easily angered. The slightest thing can trigger someone with Alzheimer's disease. Also, they have difficulty with speech and writing. They can no longer, their brain is not intact. It's spreading apart. The lobes are spreading, so they can no longer write and speak as well as they used to. Current treatment for Alzheimer's disease consists of several drugs, but these drugs do not cure the disease, but slow it down and slow down the symptoms. Current drugs are amlodipine, rivastigine, galantamine, and donepezil. Self-care is also important. Add physical exercise and care from a specialist such as occupational therapist, neurologist, or primary care provider. Research doctors and scientists suggest to try and live a healthy lifestyle, maintain a healthy weight, and do physical activity daily to prevent these diseases, but it is not guaranteed that following these suggestions will prevent you from developing the disease. Potential future treatments for Alzheimer's disease are studying DNA and hereditary genes to locate the disease in its early stages, as well as studying blood-based markers. Also, researchers are looking at advances in brain imaging to detect these blood markers and genetics before the disease progresses as we get older. The potential health and wellness for those individuals with Alzheimer's disease is good care, a good person taking care of them, as well as educating the next generation about this disease. Also, a change in lifestyle, which could consist of eating healthy, preferably a Mediterranean diet and physical exercise at least 4 times a week. In a new study by USC researchers used machine learning to identify potential blood-based markers of Alzheimer's disease that could help with earlier diagnosis and lead to non-invasive ways of tracking the progressive disease in patients. The method was developed by USC computer science research assistant Professor Greg Bierstein, a senior research lead at the USC Information Sciences Institute. Previous research has shown options for detecting Alzheimer's disease in its early stages. The 2018 study examined the presence and levels of amyloid beta in a person's brain by looking at people with varying levels of health, including some with who were healthy and some who had mild cognitive impairment, and some who had Alzheimer's disease. In 2014, there were tests using that looked at 10 specific lipids in people's blood. Researchers were also able to detect Alzheimer's before symptoms appeared. Some resources that are currently being utilized are more education to inform people about the importance of having a healthy lifestyle. There are also laws being passed to push the urgency of finding a cure for Alzheimer's disease. In 2011, President Obama signed the NAPA, which is the National Alzheimer's Project Act. This act is a strategy to address the caring for people with Alzheimer's and research to find a cure that also creates prevention for Alzheimer's by the year 2025. This is a current issue because the number of people with Alzheimer's disease is on the rise. Hundreds of new medications are being tested and explored. But eventually the hope is that it is eliminated and we find a cure. Another national policy is the Healthy Brain Initiative. The Healthy Brain Initiative is a project that is led by the CDC, otherwise known as the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. This policy has been working for almost 5 years to encourage legislators and health officials to stay on top of the disease and keep moving forward to try and find a cure. A couple of states, such as New York and California, have adopted practices to consider many elements and plans for prevention of Alzheimer's disease. More research needs to be conducted, and there should be tests run at certain ages to see if there are symptoms of onset early Alzheimer's disease.